Thanks for joining us. Right, so today is going to be a little bit of a what gear do I take with me video. So I'm going to show kind of what gear I have when I go away to a trail centre. This one I'm going to is Kielder. So it's Kielder Reservoir in Northumberland. It's got quite a few trails. It's got some great blacks, reds. It's even got blue. So what I'll do is I'll pop this down, I'll go through all of my gear with you, and I'll show you exactly what I'm taking. Okay. So obviously I ride a e-bike. It's an electric mountain bike, it's AMTV. The bike I ride is a Focus Jam Squared 2019 6.7 Plus. I've done a few upgrades to it, and the tyres that I'm running, especially at the moment with it being quite wet, I'm running the Schwalbe Eddy Current tyres front and rear. To be honest, they are the best tyres that I've tried. I've had Bontragas, I've had Continentals on bikes, and these are by far my favourite for the grip. They do add a bit of rolling resistance, but I think it's totally worth it when you take in consideration the grip you get, and plus on an e-bike you don't really notice it that much. With it being an e-bike, especially with it being a Focus Jam e-bike, what I would recommend is the spare battery. This is called the Tech Pack, so it's TEC, stands for Tailored Energy Concept. So what I've done, I've put my own little stickers on. It comes with its own little bash guard, little blue bash guard. I'll try and bring that up the camera. Spare battery there. So I'll just turn it on there. As you can see, it's on 80% battery, so I do need to charge that. That's a charging port in there. And what you need as well, you need the Tech Pack cable. So what this does, this joins the battery to the bike in a bit of a loop motion like that. You literally just plug it in where you charge the bike. So the next thing we'll go through is what do I take gear-wise and cameras. So I'll take my tripod for my GoPro, and I also take a Gopro Hero 7, which I think is a fantastic action camera. It's probably one of the best on the market. I know the Hero 8's out, but from what I've read and what I've seen, I don't see the real need to upgrade or hurry on to buying a new camera. This one's fantastic. It's about a year old again, and you know, it's been brilliant so far. I don't have any issues at all. The Hero 7, I find it's really robust. It's been through wind, it's been through freezing weather, like -3, -4 kind of weather. I mean, it's got a few marks on the touchscreen. You're gonna get that. I've had it on my helmet, I've had it on my bike stem, I've had a cable tied to my bars before just to try and get a better angle. It is a really good action camera. That's really all I'll take camera wise. I will take also my Canon GX7, and that's mainly due to the fact that I'll be doing some vlogging when I'm there as well. What I'll also be wearing is my Samsung Galaxy watch. So this came out a year or so ago. It's got the 4G built in, so I don't actually need my phone with me. I actually do phone calls and everything from this watch, which I find really useful, especially if your phone battery dies. You can dial on it, you can send texts, and even play games on it if you want to. You can even watch YouTube. It also tracks your fitness, your heart rate, and it all goes back to Samsung Fitness, which I think is a massive thing. Because you also want to see what you've kind of done in the day, how many calories you've burnt, all that kind of good stuff. I'm going to go through what I wear now as well, so the rest of the gear. I've got the Fox Defend gloves. Fox Defend gloves. So they've got a bit of coverage for the knuckles, some protection. Obviously on both you can use your touchscreen phone with the gloves on, got no problem. They're very nice fitting gloves. So that's them. I'll get out of the way because obviously I'm wearing a black t-shirt. That's on there. They don't feel bulky at all. Very good. Good at keeping your hands warm, but also if you take your hand off the bars, you've got holes in the palm. Don't even see those. You've got holes in the palm, that keeps you nice and cool. I've got a little rip in mine because I went through a hedge and caught my hand. So depending on where I'm going, I'll also wear knee pads. So the knee pads I have are Dakine Impacts. Now they are pretty solid, but they're very flexible at the same time. So obviously one for each leg, but that's the colour on it. A nice colour, solid, really comfortable. I wanted to do 50 miles and I've been absolutely fine. It's been nice to wear them. They've been really comfortable and they've had no issues with them yet either. What I recommend is wearing a decent jersey, one that you know will be sufficient for riding, that gives you good coverage. So I've got my new Fox one to wear. It's technically a motocross one, but I just love the way it looks. I think it's a really nice looking jersey. The trainers I wear are DCs. I do want to get some 510s, but at the moment I just haven't got around to doing it. So that might come in the future, but at the moment the DCs are doing just fine. They've got a little bit of deformation where the pins have dug in. Other than that, they've kind of, I mean, they've been really good. I've worn them on nearly every ride. I had some Shimano shoes. Yeah, I managed to lose one. Yeah, I had blue Shimano shoes. I don't know how I lost one. I've got no idea. It was after that long ride. We did a Kielder. We took the wrong turn doing the Bloody Bush Red Trail. Ended up going miles out of the way, even went up to Newcastle then. So we went across the Scottish border, which is quite fun, but when it's -3, you run out of food, water, battery, it's not the best ride. I was lucky I only ran out of battery about 3 miles left to go, so I kind of just had to plug through the rest of the way. One of the other lads, their battery didn't even run out until the very end. So I'd recommend definitely a decent multi-tool. So I've got a Crank Brothers multi-tool. It's the M10, so it gives you plenty of gear on it. And it's nice and compact, it's very flat.
So that's that there.
Nice and flat, very small in the hand. It is a really great tool actually, it's fantastic. Now this is the multi-tool that I keep in the car. It's my Top Peak one. Again, good tools, nice to use, not quite as flat. It's actually a little bit lighter than the Crank Brothers one, but I would definitely recommend that, especially if it's going in your pocket or a hip bag. It's really good. So I do take a pump with me as well. So I've got this little bike pump that just fits in the frame. I always have a little bit of Gorilla Tape wrapped around it, just so if you ever have an emergency where you need Gorilla Tape, you've got tape, because Gorilla Tape can fix lots of things. I've seen people fix punctures, I've seen people fix a cable frame coming out, like say the shifting cable flinging about. To be honest, I even use it for frame protection. So on my bike where I've got some black parts where no cables will rub, I'll actually put a bit of Gorilla Tape on for the moment. I would prefer to use insulating tape, but I didn't have insulating tape at the time, so I've got Gorilla Tape on. I'm just reluctant to remove it because I know it might leave a bit of a mess. That won't be fun to tie up. The other pumps I take a shock pump. So that is to pump up your front and rear shock. So with me being a heavier rider, my rear and front shock are pretty much maxed out. I think my rear shock's about 310, I think my front's about 250ish. And the other pump I take as well is a proper track pump. One of those. Depending on the day, my tyre pressure will change. Tomorrow it's going to be mainly off-road riding in the wet, so my tyre pressure is going to go right down. During the week when I'm biking to work, my tyre pressure is right up, around the 30-35 psi mark. And I also take, well tomorrow I'll be taking my Camelback bag. So it's got a 1.5 litre reservoir in there with a straw. That's currently in the freezer because I keep mine in the freezer. One, I keep it clean. Two, what I like to do is I like to fill it with a little bit of water, blow it right up, put it on back in the freezer, and it keeps your back cool as well. And it also keeps the water cool in it as well for during the ride. It doesn't stay cool all day, but it will get you a little bit. And of course, I always keep a spare GoPro battery as well, just to let you know that. Obviously, the helmet is massively important. I wouldn't leave the house without a helmet, especially for somewhere like Kielder or a trail centre where you're going to be doing drops. You've got some gnarlier terrain, some rocks, places you don't really want to come off your bike at all. So that'll definitely be coming with me. And I believe I will be riding with the chin bar on tomorrow as well. So what I also like to take, I like to take some spare sealant because I currently run tubeless. So that's the Stans tyre sealant. So I always take a spare tub of that just in case you burp a tyre and you need to refill it. I've always got a little Stanley knife with me just in case you've got to cut something off the bike or you've got something tangled and you cut it, like say I've had it before, I've had fishing wire in my bike wheel, just cut it out straight away. It's no bother then, it's all done and dusted. Wouldn't recommend taking this around the trail with you, but it's a roll of Gorilla Tape. I will leave that in the car along with the bungee cord. Now what I'll do is I'll be putting that across the car if I need to, just to hold anything in place, because I don't have a van or anything. What I do is actually put my bike in the car. I'll take the front wheel off, put the seat flat, and then I'll be able to put the bike in that way. But doing that, take the front wheel off, you must use one of these. What it is, it's one of the brake wedges. So it stops your brakes compressing whilst you're in transit. Last thing you want to do is hit a bump, your brake lever moves and it crushes your pads together, and then you need to bleed the whole brake system again, which I've done twice now with help of my friend. To be honest, I've just kind of watched. He's been the brains behind that. It's a process you want to get right, and obviously he's a lot more experienced than myself. Right, yes, so we've been through a few things there. So one of the other things I like to do on my bike, I like to carry a spare tube if I'm doing a long, interesting journey. Right, so that's what I like to carry my tube in. I can attach that on the bike nice and easy. It's the same brand as my knee pads, Dakine, Dakine, people pronounce it differently. I've got a full 27.5-inch tube in there, just in case I rip my tyre and I need to put a tube in and the sealant won't fix it. Yeah, that's never happened yet. These tyres seem really, really thick. The sidewalls are really thick and the beading was a nightmare to get in, but they're so tight on the rim, they're really good. That's why I like to carry the tube in. The other thing I would definitely say is worth it on more like trails, local stuff. Not just bike park stuff where you're going downhill trails. It's like local cross-country trails kind of thing. Would be this. It's an SKS Anywhere bottle cage. Fantastic for an extra bottle on the bike, especially when you haven't got the space. What I like to do, I like to put mine in the forks. So that's it there. So basically those Velcro straps go around the fork. You put a bottle in there and then that keeps it nice and secure. So you can put it anywhere on your bike. I put mine in my forks. Another good thing to carry is tyre levers, just in case you have got to put that tube in. So I've got Park Tool tyre levers there. One of the reasons I went for them is because Park Tools, fantastic, you can't really go wrong with Park Tools. This gets into a tyre very well. It's hard to explain, but that lip there just seems to really dig in nicely. And it doesn't cause any damage to the tyre or the rim. And also the blue as well, so you can't really go wrong with that. Now, I think that's pretty much everything that I'm going to be taking tomorrow, other than my wash stuff. Now, the wash stuff I use is, I obviously use the muck off stuff, the muck off brush, the chain brush, the detailing brush. And then I also use the muck off cleaner, but when I do a deep clean on my bike, I use PT's degreaser on the cassette and chain, just to really get in there and get rid of all that crap out of there. But to wash my bike, because what I'd rather do when I'm at a trail centre, when I get all muddy, I'd rather not put a really muddy wet bike in my car. I'd rather put a bike that's a little bit wet but clean. So what I have, I've got a Moby V17 mobile pressure washer. Fantastic bit of kit. You charge it, it works on battery, it has its own water container. So you don't need to be connected to a water source all the time either. The pressure you get is good enough for a bike. In fact, it's probably a little bit more than you need on a bike. I've actually washed cars with this thing. It's brilliant. So I'll just quickly get that up so you can see what that is. So that's what it looks like. So it's not very big, it's actually quite little, it's movable. I've got water coming out of it there because it's still got a little bit of water in it. So it's a nice bit of kit. Again, it comes with a long and hose on it. The other thing I'll show you is what I'm going to be taking tomorrow for nutrition. And what I'd really recommend is making sure you have sufficient nutrition for the ride. What I like to do is take a protein bar, a couple of energy gels, and I've also got a protein double chocolate chip cookie to try. I've never tried before, I don't know what it'll be like. Right, that's the bar I've got. I got that from My Protein. It was only a couple of quid, really looks lovely. I haven't tried that again either, so I'll try that again tomorrow. The other thing I've got is energy gel. Really good to have on a journey, dead quick and easy to eat, and also doesn't take much room. And then obviously that's the protein cookie that I mentioned. It's part of Mo Farah's selection called Mo Protein. So what I'll quickly do, I will give you a quick show of the bike. I will apologise already, it's in the living room. My bike does not leave my house when I have it at home. I don't store it outside at all because one is it's an expensive bike. Two is I'm cautious about leaving it where it's going to be cold or damp. Another bike suited to deal with that. However, that's just my thing, I'm just a bit protective of it. But if you bear with me 2 seconds, I'll quickly get the camera turned around and we'll have a look at the bike. Now, as I say, it is in the living room, so you will see a bit of my TV, a bit of the fireplace, and a bit of the cat food stuff. So please excuse that. I will get better videos of the bike when the weather allows it, and when I've got the time to do that as well. Because at the moment I am still working full time, so I am trying to do this as a spare time thing. Right, guys, that is my bike. So I've currently got the seat down, and that will be going up, obviously with there being a drop-up post. So I'll just quickly go run through the bike very quickly. I will do a full detailed video on this. In the rear I've got the Magura MT5 disc brake. That's got a 203mm rotor on it. These are the eddy current Schwabel tyres that I mentioned. As I say, these are really grippy. So I've also got this seat. Now this seat was a recent upgrade. It's an Ergon SMA seat, so it's especially for e-bikes. So you can see it's got the lip at the back, and then as I say, it is a dropper, so it does come up. And what I've done as well is I've replaced a lot of stuff with Bergtech gear. Now I really like the Bergtech stuff. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Just trying to get out of focus there for you. I absolutely love the Bergtech gear. I think it's fantastic. I've also got Bergtech bars. I've got a wolf tooth dropper remote. So that's the lever there. It looks fantastic. It is really nice and also really, really grippy. You can't go wrong with that at all. Your thumb will never slip off that. So I've got Bergtech grips. So obviously you can see the bit of a theme here with the blue. So you've obviously got I've redone the hydraulic hoses into blue, so they're all Jaguar gear. That's a shifting cable. That's another hydraulic hose. And that's obviously my dropper cable there. RockShox Recon forks, 140mm travel. Again, gear in the front as well, MT5. 4 pots, 203mm rotor. I've also changed the rotor bolts on both brake discs to be blue. So that's where the tech pack would sit, but at the moment I've got the adapter for the bottle cage. So that's the bottle I use the Camelback Podium. And then I've obviously got the RockShox Deluxe on the back here. Really nice bit of kit again. So these are the Bergtech pedals I've got. Fantastic grip. And you can see, again, blue. I've a bit of a running theme on this bike. I've also got the wolf tooth seat post clamp as well. Right, so that's a quick rundown of the bike I have. It's a lovely bit of kit. It is a fantastic bike to ride. It's good fun and it's really capable of doing everything you want it to do as well. The other thing I would say is just my final thing as part of my camera filming gear. So the Bergtech stem also has a faceplate which you can mount on GoPro to. That's my GoPro mount there. Obviously I will change the angle for when I'm riding. It is a fantastic thing that Bergtech do actually. Right guys, that was just a really quick rundown of what I've got on the bike, what the motor bike is, what it looks like. I will be doing a proper video of that to show you everything that's on the bike. The bike is pretty much there with the upgrades. I've been doing a lot of upgrades on this since I've got the bike. So I'm hoping it continues. I think my next big upgrade is going to be the forks. I want to change those to a Lyric or something along those lines with the RockShox. Much nicer, like a bit longer travel, maybe the 150, 170mm travel. Then I will eventually get bigger rotors for the front and back, so I'll go for the 220 that Magura just brought out. But other than that guys, that's pretty much it. Is there anything that you want to see? Let me know. I want to say thank you very much for watching. Please comment, subscribe, hit the little bell button, it'll be showing you the notifications, and I look forward to seeing you guys watching my videos more often. Brilliant, thank you.